This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by CardMax Payments, the trusted merchant processing broker that helps hard-to-place merchant industries find trustworthy, reliable payment processing services. When it comes to helping their clients find ways to process their customers' financial transactions, CardMax Payments knows how to get things done. If you have a legal adult use or medical marijuana dispensary, head shop, vape shop, or online CBD or hemp products store, then CardMax Payments can help you shrug off the burdens of doing all of your business in cash. Find out how you can do business better by opening up cardmaxpayments.com, which is spelled exactly like it sounds. They can quickly give you a quote on what it would look like to work with them. That's cardmaxpayments.com. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Friday, March 30th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 458 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Leading off today's headlines is news from the latest edition of Presidential Apprentice. This week, Mr. Trump fired David Shulkin, project manager of Team Veterans Administration, after he and his team couldn't sell as many Trump steaks on the streets of Manhattan as Team Breitbart. After a tense boardroom meeting in which Mr. Trump seemed to waver between firing Mr. Shulkin or Flavor Flav, the axe finally descended on Shulkin's shoulders. In a rare move, Trump then tapped sycophantic Dr. Ronnie Jackson, a rear admiral in the Navy, to replace Shulkin as the leader of Team VA. Apologies for the bad humor, but sometimes I can't believe I'm living in this timeline. Yesterday, President Donald Trump fired VA Secretary David Shulkin, who's been criticized by legal cannabis activists for his prohibitionist handling of medical marijuana for veterans. You can read about it in the Cannabist if you'd like. All the while, Trump remains on the precipice of ruin as more threads tying his corrupt administration to Russian intelligence are stitched up. Canadian medical marijuana company Canna Royalty Corporation is taking advantage of the fact that California does not have any residency requirements for owning legal cannabis businesses by swooping in and going on a bit of an acquisition binge. Marijuana Business Daily is reporting that the company just announced 3 new closed deals for 2 distributors and an edibles and concentrates maker. Canna Royalty is buying the companies for a mix of stock and cash and is getting for their troubles a substantial foot in the door of the California market. The largest of the 3 companies Canna Royalty is picking up, distributor RVR, did just over $25 million in revenue last year and is one of the few large distributors in the Golden State. Expect to see more deals like this as cash-flush Canadian firms look to lock in California market share. Marijuana Business Daily has another story up today with our third headline, as a court in Germany just issued a ruling that halts the immediate development of a domestic medical marijuana cultivation program, leaving the way paved over for now for foreign cultivators, mostly from Canada, to step in as providers. The decision is non-appealable, so Germany's 13,000 or so registered patients will be buying imported medical cannabis through the nation's pharmacies. There are a couple of different ways hopeful domestic cultivators can play this, so pop over to Marijuana Business Daily for the full story, as well as a list of some of the different Canadian firms who are already involved in the German market. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz out on headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, CardMax Payments, the trusted merchant processing broker that helps hard-to-place merchant industries find trustworthy, reliable payment processing services. CardMax Payments can help adult use and medical dispensaries, head shops, vape shops, and online hemp and CBD product stores do business better. They have a huge network of payment processing partners who they go to when they need to help a client find a transaction processing solution. That enormous reach means that they can build a solution for you and your legal shop. By moving more of your business away from all cash to digital transactions, you'll benefit from increased transparency, safety, and you'll cut down a bunch on your trips to the bank. Say goodbye to doing everything in cash by saying hello to cardmaxpayments.com, which again is spelled exactly like it sounds. cardmaxpayments.com. All right, time for the blitz. Utah Governor Gary Herbert does not care that more than 3/4 of his constituents are in favor of allowing for the use of medical marijuana. as yesterday he announced his opposition to a medical marijuana ballot measure that should be going before voters in November. Using the tired canard of saying he wanted to see more research on medical cannabis, Governor Herbert warned of the unintended consequences of letting sick people use medicine that makes them feel better. You can pop over to Fox 13 to read the governor's full statement. The city of Berkeley, California just announced that they are chopping their portion of adult use cannabis taxes from 10% to 5% in a bid to help retailers compete against the illicit market, which pays a tax rate of 0%. This storyline has flared up in recent weeks as the discussion has increased in the state over the large tax burden faced by many California cannabis buyers. With the new 5% tax rate, Berkeley dispensaries will now be taxing legal cannabis products at an effective rate of just 30%. With the first of his two headlines in today's stories, Tom Angel over at Marijuana Moment has a good piece up about Virginia Governor Ralph Northam and the cannabis advocacy he's been engaged in during his first year in office. On Wednesday, Governor Northam gave an interview during which he pledged to keep fighting for further marijuana reform in his state. It's another good one to open up in full. Marijuana Moment's second headline today concerns a letter sent to U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions yesterday by the state treasurers of California, Oregon, Illinois, and Pennsylvania, asking to meet to discuss the issue of state legal cannabis and access to business banking services by industry participants. Another good one to click over to, if only to navigate your way to the letter itself. Yesterday, the state of Michigan announced that they had sent out 210 orders to close to medical marijuana dispensaries who have failed to start the application for official license on time or who have otherwise made a large mistake in the initial application process. The majority of those shops ordered to shut down, 158, were located in Detroit, with the rest spread throughout the state. Marijuana Business Daily finishes out their 3-headline day with a good story about a change in policy by the IRS that will make it harder for nonprofit lobbying groups focused on legal cannabis to form and grow. After a new policy change at the start of the year, organizations that lobby on behalf of illegal substances are barred from being recognized as proper nonprofits. Marijuana Business Daily holds the New Jersey Cannabis Industry Association as an example of an affected organization, as the group has been denied by the IRS the right to be considered not-for-profit. We'll keep an eye on this one. And finally for today, we have news of an interesting study out of Canada that finds that daily marijuana use could actually prevent people from moving on to using other drugs like heroin. The study's authors tracked for a decade 481 homeless youth living in Vancouver and found that those that used cannabis every day had a 35% less incidence rate of using injected heroin. This is another good one to read in full. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again Monday morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, CardMax Payments, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says, Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in and starting your day with marijuana today.
One take, Shay. One take.